Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Wow. First, I want to give honor to God, Pastor Davis, Reverend Parker. Thank y'all for having me speak today. I want to thank the audience for being here today. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I want to start off by saying this. Us as African Americans, Negroes, Blacks, we have a strong history and heritage. I believe sometimes we forget what our people had to endure so we can be here today. It gets forgotten sometimes, underappreciated. People knowingly risk their lives. They saw the situation and want to change. They thought about the future and they thought about us. And no, I'm not trying to preach, but however, I feel that the past is a good teacher. And from our past, we can learn these two things. If you pray and are persistent, you can overcome anything. And lastly, I believe the advancement of or progression of African Americans, that job is never complete. There is always a higher plateau for us to strive for. To the younger crowd, I think our job consists of working hard in your studies, carrying yourself with pride and dignity, and setting your goals high. And to the slightly older than younger crowd, I think your job is to teach, guide, and inspire. And we all share the same job, the same goal of being all that we can be. People have knocked down barriers so we don't have to struggle like they did. And that's the title, subject, and inspiration of the piece I wrote, Be All That You Can Be. Each day, no matter what we are faced with, we must strive to our full potential. Even though some of our trailblazers are no longer here with us on earth, our success is like paying them back. So we can show them that what they went through was not in vain. So, without further ado, the piece I wrote, Be All That You Can Be. Last night as I laid down, I began to dream, in which I time traveled and watched my history unravel. God sent me on a mission. His instructions were, you cannot talk to these people, but only listen. I found myself in Portland, Virginia in the year of 1831, face to face with Nat Turner, his eyes filled with a lifetime of pain, a lifetime of oppression, and a lifetime of bondage. His hands and feet tattered and dirt covered like his old worn garments. The webs on his back like risen mountain and his valleys filled with dry blood that stung too much to clean. And as I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, he says, I want you to get far from here, but listen to what I say. I believe in a God that promises a brighter day. For each day I take a whip across my back. Remember the opportunities that I lack. See, all my life I've been a slave, told how to think, talk, act, and behave. So I want you to run from here, but I got something for you to do for me. Promise. Promise you will be all that you can be. After that, I run. I run until I find myself in Tuskegee, Alabama, 1902. Face to face with Booker T. Washington, he greets me with a slight smile and a head nod. Dressed in a full-piece suit that he purchased by himself, a suit that consisted of cottons and fabrics that his mother could only dream of. His eyes were half depressed and half delighted. His hands were rough and he tries to balance his world while he holds the torch that lights the future. His eyes have seen a race that has been abused and abandoned, but he is delighted for the future to come. But as I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, he says, I've seen what education can do for you. It's the key to our success. It is the key that our people have not had the chance to hold. See, I was born a slave and over time was set free, so I've worked hard enough that I can finally rest. But I ask one thing of you from me. Always give your best, and please, be all that you can be. After that, I run. I run to 1957 in Oakland, California, and I'm face to face with Angela Davis. Her eyes, half enraged and half eager, enraged by the depths of black in the South that swayed by rope, enraged how the great country they call America has suffocated the black man of hope. At the same time, she was eager to uplift black culture, black thought, black hope, black community, black unity, black skin color, black thick hair, black love, black hands that are raised in black gloves. And as she is looking at me and I'm looking at her, she says, my strong black brother, from one to another, we have a job to do. We must uplift the black spirit. We are no longer slaves, but we still have no respect in this country. Whenever you feel like you're going to break or give in, remember you are strong. You come from a people that put this country on their back, so straighten up yours and lift up your chin. Walk as if you are royalty, and don't ever let anyone tell you your black is not beautiful. And last, do this for me. Never give up, and please be all that you can be. So I run, and I never look back. And from a distance I hear, there is nothing wrong with being black. So I run. I run to 1966 in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm face to face with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His eyes were full of hope, but his hands and shoes were worn down. for every march he attended, and every step his feet took. More than the old Negro spirituals he sung, more than the beat of rhythm his hands clapped. His eyes were narrowed in on the mountaintops. He could see equality rising over the horizons in the distance. So just years prior, they took Medgar and Malcolm, and at this very moment, I was hoping that Martin would be able to see his dream, live his dream, before he sent to his wake. But as I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, he says, equality is just over the mountain. I just need you to press a little while longer and pray a little bit louder when times get tough. Have faith, for God and fear do not occupy the same room. And love, because God is love. So we should love one another, no matter the skin color or gender. We are all the same. See, our ancestors could only dream of this. So learn, love, and inspire. And stand strong like this tree. Strive for your best, and please, be all that you can be. So I run. And this time I run a little faster to Elam's, North Carolina, 1982. And I'm eye to eye with my future pastor. His head a little more full with hair, but I can see promise in his eyes. I can see determination from dirt farm rows to the front of his class, his objective to make his future better than his past. Enlighten minds and help bring people to the light. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me and he says, I'm going to continue the legacy that was laid before me. I'm going to have more diplomas on my wall than a house has windows. I'm going to spread the word of Christ to those in need. I'm going to lead my future flock in the right direction. I have to do this because people before me gave their lives. So continue on your journey. That is the wisdom that I feed. And remember, slow down and always control your speed. But the closer you walk with God, the harder it is to scrape your knee. And finally, most importantly, please be all that you can be. So I run. I run until I'm in Washington, D.C., 2008. The night before the election, I'm face to face with Barack Obama. His eyes full of eagerness, full of hope, full of possibility, full of determination to lead a nation that for 400 years bore its weight on the Darker brothers' back. Sent us to the kitchen to eat when company came. For 400 years defined us as less than human. And now, at this very moment, who's this man whose eyes, the same dark oak tree brown as mine, whose hair, black and wavy like mine, he looks like me and I look like him, and as I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, he says, we've come a long way, from the shacks behind the big house to the Oval Office in the white. I'm just proud to be able to continue what was started before me. I was ever put into existence to redefine excellence, determination, but no, it does not end with me. I need you to be all that you can be. So I run, but this time I finally wake up, and now I'm face to face with you, and you watch me, understanding what I'm trying to say as I took you on this backwards time travel and unraveled our history. The plantations that our ancestors slaved over in 100-degree shade, to the early pioneers of black excellence, educators, mentors, doctors, freedom fighters, inventors, and as I'm looking at you, and you are looking at me, I will say this: embrace your heritage. We are unique people that come in all shades and shapes. Our history is golden. Our people put their lives on the line so you and I can vote, live in our neighborhoods, go to our schools, work at our jobs. So who are we not to achieve our goals? Be who we want to be. The path has already been clear for us to continue to hold the torch that our ancestors gave. Please redirect. This fight is not over. We must keep marching until time no longer ticks. No matter what side you fall on, until the brown paper bag, regardless, your black skin is beautiful. And it is rich, just like the history behind it. Because of them, Maya Angelou, Ralph Ellison, Richard Wright, Ella Baker, Stokely Carmichael, W.E.B. Du Bois, James Murdoch, Elijah Muhammad, Rosa Parks, Bobby Seale, Ida B. Wells, Walter White, Alex Haley, Bill Cosby, Sammy Davis Jr., Sidney Poitier, Matthew Henson, Mary McLuhan Bethune, Ashada Shakur, Madam C.J. Walker, Colin Powell, Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, Toni Morrison, Thurgood Marshall, Muhammad Ali, Louis Armstrong, Arthur Ashe, James Baldwin, Benjamin Banneker, the Brown Bomber, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, and Nelson Mandela, Ruby Bridges, Little Rock 9, Black Panthers, Freedom Fighters, 1968 Olympic Black Power Salute, Buffalo Soldiers, Tuskegee Airmen, Jesse Owens, I Fly on the Wing of Bessie Coleman, Medgar, Marcus, Morgan, and Mountain. Because of them, well, I have the answer for me, but as for you, please be all that you can be. Thank you.